Today we're going to be learning how to do a basic wrap on a poofy heart that has no hole. This technique will work on smaller pieces. I did it on this cute little guy, and then today we're going to be demoing this one, but it probably would also scale up if you had an even larger heart. For supplies, we're going to use the same thing I almost always use. We're going to use a 22 gauge enamel coated copper wire. We have flat nose pliers, round nose pliers, and a set of snips. All of these are available on my website if you are looking to purchase. And let's get started. So I did this with just one piece of wire. Unfortunately, with this project, you can't work on the spool like I do with some of our bead projects. For this little guy, I took about, I think it wound about being 7 or 8 inches of wire. Obviously, for a larger heart, you will need more wire. Typically, I kind of like measure the height of the piece and then I give a good few inches above. This is something you'll have to play with as you learn how to wire wrap with gauging better lengths. I'm going to go with about whatever that is. I can measure it if you like. So I got about 9.5 inches of wire here for a 25mm heart. So the first thing we're going to do is have it folded in half to kind of find the middle of the wire. And we're going to grab our round nose pliers. You're going to put it all the way up into the top of your plier and form it around the tine of your tool here. And we get essentially one circle. Now we're going to want 2 circles because I find that just looks nice on the top of your pendant where the chain goes through. So to do this, all you're going to do is fold it back the other way. So I've folded it back the opposite direction on my tool, open it up, and now you have 2 circles on top. You're going to move those wires now to the side where your hand is working, and you're going to cross them over so that you have a right angle. So this angle is important for when we're twisting to be able to keep these twists. So this twisty part that is on the stone here, to keep them nice and even, otherwise they get kind of funny looking. If you want a more detailed video on how I'm going to do this exact wrapping technique, check the description and I have a video there that goes over this exact technique in much more greater detail if you're struggling with it a bit, or if you're just looking for more general tips. But the main thing is keep these 2 wires at a right angle from each other. Get your thumb and your index finger in there and pinch and begin to twist them around each other. And twist them down, and you're going to have to kind of guess how long you need this. So this is going to be on our piece kind of about almost dead center of the stone is where we're looking to wind up, but this top part needs to then fold over and be coming out almost out of the direct middle of the top of the pendant. So we have to kind of imagine that that's in the center, and then this is going to have to kind of fold over and up. So the next thing you're going to want to do, once you have it doesn't have to be the perfect length because we can adjust it in a minute. We're going to grab our flat nose pliers, and this is going to be the top kind of neck of the pendant, so this part right in here. We're going to grab our flat nose pliers for the length of that neck that you want to leave, and you're going to bend that wire up. So you're kind of creating, once again, an angle there, and that is where that is going to sit, on the top of that piece like that. So now you can see that the wire's sticking out. We now have to then curve that wire back over our stone. So this is the part where it gets kind of fiddly when you're trying to form it to your stone. It might take a little practice. You're probably going to drop the stone a bunch. That's okay. Just have some patience. If it's frustrating you, put it down, come back in a minute, maybe grab some tea. So hold it on the top there, and you can kind of push it down to get an idea of where it needs to curve. It doesn't have to be fully curved. You can always grab your round nose and help that part along to get it curved properly. You don't want to over curve it based on your heart, because if you curve it too much, then it's going to be kind of creating like a pointy edge. So it does take a little practice to get it to fit kind of the right groove of your heart. That sounds like it should be a song. Okay, so you can see now I have kind of matched that up, but you can see how much it shrunk up my wrap here. I'm no longer more so in the middle of that heart. So now we're going to want to wrap a little bit more. You can go ahead and hold on with those flat nose pliers once again, instead of your fingers. I find like you can hold this part with your fingers, but it's a little bit tricky. You don't want to now work with your round nose in here, as when you're twisting, it's going to kind of make it move around too much. So you can go in with your flat nose, or if you have the nylon coated pliers, that would also be a good purpose for that here. We're going to twist, woo, so you can see it might move, but that's okay. A little bit more. If your wire, while you're doing this, kind of gets a little uneven or a little bendy, you can just go in with your flat nose and gently kind of just compress it to straighten it out. I just usually kind of go in a circle, and that will even out any kind of little wonky bits that you have going on. All right, and try it on again. You may have to then, because this is obviously very straight and our heart is not, we can curve that a bit and place it back on. Okay, that looks about right. I'm probably a hair below center, and that is a-okay. So there we have it, and now we're going to want to meet these two wires onto the back side, because we now want to do this coil again on the other side, but now coming from the bottom up instead. So you're going to want to try and get this as centers as you think you can, and begin to kind of fold these over to the other side. So you can kind of just squish them like that, bring it to the other side, and you have to kind of keep recentering. So as I was saying about when we were trying to place this in the middle before, it can kind of be the same experience when you're trying to place these, that it can feel a little messy while you're trying to get things to sit where you want. So on this one, it was like, it's kind of just a nice general arch, but on this one, due to the shape of the heart, you can see it's much more of an angle that is coming out of the wires. So you kind of want to shoot for the same thing on the other side. Every heart shape might be a little unique, so you can see this almost right angle here that's naturally forming. Yours might not look like that. Yours might be a different shape, because my heart shape is quite wide. If yours is less wide, it might sit differently. So obviously you need to form it to how the shape of your heart is. So once we kind of have this-ish where we want it, we're going to bring up both of these wires, because right now it would be really hard to get in here to know where to twist these two wires for where they're sitting. So usually what I do is I take my flat nose pliers right at that cross, and I kind of give them both a little bit of a bend so that I can actually see where they are sitting together crossed. And you're going to take that out. And so this is kind of another tricky spot to start, but usually what you can do is pinch. Once you have it there, you can see where it's supposed to begin. You can pinch the other two wires with your flat nose. And once again, open up to get your right angle. I mean, when you're doing that very first twist, you might want to leave them a lesser angle, just to be able to make sure you're still starting in that spot that you want it to be. If you widen it up too much, you're going to move them around a lot. So that very first twirl here, you might want to leave a little less of an angle, and you can see as I was twisting them around, I moved them open to where I want. And I'm going to then begin my regular twists. Once you have a base, then you can remove your pliers from that spot. You can see I probably kind of squished and moved around my wire a bit too much there. That is going to happen. I can then straighten out this twisted section, and we can go ahead and put our stone back in to reshape that part back up. So honestly, it really doesn't change too much. You can see it's kind of maybe a little lopsided now, but all of that can be shifted and adjusted afterwards. So you just go in with your flat nose pliers and give it a push. So you can see that is the basic part of it. Now we just have to keep wrapping up. You can see it's pretty secure in there. You can kind of guesstimate now this last distance here. You don't want to overwrap it. So I would go really slowly with doing a few twists and checking to see how it's fitting in here, because if you want it nice and tight, if you twist this too long, when they meet up, they're both going to kind of push out a little bit, and the top is going to be too wide, and you're not going to get a nice snug fit on it. So kind of proceed with light caution of how many twists you do on the second half. If it's kind of hard to get this head in the way, you can kind of tilt it to the side. Like I said, the wire is very forgiving to just put it back again. So go ahead and do a few more twists. Just don't overdo it. Pop that guy back in, and as you're doing it, always kind of pinch to really push down so that it's as tight as it needs to be. So you can see I was pretty confident with my twisting, and I honestly almost over twisted. I probably could do less twisting, so you can see just how quickly it goes to be able to have that twisted up. So that is good enough. So I'm going to move both wires to this side. So you can hold on with your flat nose and push them so that they're both on one side. And now we're going to finish off that top. So I'm just kind of adjusting my one angle on this side. You can kind of lift it and replace it, and that will change the angle. Same with this side. Keep kind of pushing it down. And now we're just going to begin fixing off these last two wires. So you're going to bring them both around together. You could do it one at a time if you find it easier. Sometimes it's easier together because then they stay a little bit more tidy. When you do just one, I find sometimes it's not as tidy because then the second wire has to kind of lap over top of it, and it kind of goes in a different place and it doesn't sit as neatly as when they stay together as a kind of one unit. So if you find it easier, you can use your flat nose or your fingers. You can pinch it kind of as you go to get them nice and flat. Just go slowly, so you can see I'm slowly leading them around that neck of the pendant. So once you make it to the top, you can then simply cut them off. You're done. You have reached the top part of your pendant. You can also use them to decorate. So you could leave them there and coil them down and use them to add a little bit of finesse on it. But the basic amount of use for them to hold the stone in place has already been done. So then you can go ahead and make any adjustments. So sometimes I'll kind of push these wires open as much as I can just to make sure it's well seated. You can squash that guy down a hair so it kind of sits back down a little tighter. And yeah, that's the basics of it. So let's say we're going to keep one of these wires and we'll add a little spiral. Oops, just a little spiral just to show you. So we'll get rid of one and tuck that wire down with my flat nose. And this guy, we're going to add a coil. So I'm going to start with my round nose, and all I did was make a tiny little circle. I'm going to tighten it with my flat nose and begin to curl that in. You can make this as kind of tight or not tight as you prefer. I'm just letting this one be what it wants to be, and there. Okay, and we got a cute little swirl on the top, kind of hides your neck. That is our basic pendant. If you wound up with it being a hair loose, like this one is, it's loose as moving around, but it's honestly, it's never going to come off. One thing you can do is use your pliers to kind of almost tighten the sides. So you can grab your flat nose pliers and you can grab on just in the middle here. Do this with caution because it can throw off your piece a little bit. But if you found that, say, like the curves of my heart are quite large, but if yours are more well reduced and you find that this feels like it could kind of slip off and you want to tighten it a hair, you can go in with your flat nose pliers and grab it on the edge of the stone. You could do it on the front if you want for like a decorative look. Maybe it's on the back side and you don't care. Either way, I kind of did it on the edge so it's kind of out of the way. And you're going to grab on with your flat nose. So I'm kind of pinching the whole thing so it stays in one spot and doesn't move too much. And all you're going to do is twist it like a quarter turn. So it kind of created a little zigzag there. And immediately it tightens it up just a little bit. So I went clockwise with this one. So I'm going to turn counterclockwise with this one so that they turn kind of in the same direction for the piece. So that they both are kind of the two pulling down and two pulling a little higher. And so you don't actually see them on the front face of your piece, but it does tighten it up a little bit. It uses up some of that wire to get your piece to sit in a little tighter. And there we go. That is a basic wrap for a poofy heart that does not have a hole. And if you like, you can open up these two circles at the top, and that's where your chain goes through. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I have lots of new content coming out all the time. I cover lots of different tips and tricks for wire wrapping and jewelry making. We also have a large selection of wires and tools and gemstone beads and other things like hearts on our website, yieldrockshop.com. If you are interested to check that out, we are a small family mother-daughter Canadian company. And thanks for watching.